Hey guys, so for today's video, I'm going to be reviewing all of my Mixbar fragrances. So I'm going to start off with the two that I'm going to be decluttering from my collection, and these are my least favorite that I have. The first one is the Cloud Musk perfume, and the second one is the Wood Elixir body mist. So I just want to say this with the Cloud Musk perfume. At first, when I smelled this one at Target, this one was actually my favorite. I mean, I was so excited for this scent. I thought it was going to be absolutely amazing. And smelling it in the store, I really liked it. It had this like airy kind of cloud feel to it. It was really like light feeling, and I just was obsessed with it, but I couldn't get it yet because it was sold out. I could only use the tester. So maybe at that time I would have liked the fragrance more. However, I got it like a year and a half later, and my tastes have changed a little bit. So by the time I got it, I didn't like it. I know that sounds weird. So because I was hyping this scent up so much, I thought it was going to be absolutely amazing. And I did like it a couple years prior to that. But by the time I finally got it, I ended up not liking it. Now I do have to say this, I don't think this is a bad scent by any means. It is still nice, but now I just get this airy, fresh quality to it. And to me, it has like a really strong alcohol kind of scent. Now, when I say alcohol, I don't mean like a drink, kind of like rubbing alcohol, similar to that. But it's not as strong. It just has like that hint of like rubbing alcohol kind of undertone to it. The rest I would describe as kind of like this like green notes. Like, I don't know if it's like mossy or like, I don't know, something like really fresh, but also like really woody and green. So to me, it kind of gives me like a nice clean cologne. I could say like women and men could wear it, but there's nothing like sweet or feminine about it. So to me, it just gives kind of like a crisp, clean t-shirt kind of feel. I think even though both men and women can pull this off, to me, it definitely, I don't know, I don't want to say leans on the masculine side because anyone can wear any fragrance. But I think there's some like quality that seems like it could be more for a man. And I think on a man it would smell nice. But when I put this on, I just got a little bit too much alcohol. And I was so disappointed because I had such high hopes for the scent. And I did love it at first. So I was like, what happened to my nose? Why do I not like it now? But yeah, there's just like that undertone. I think it was the green notes that stood out a little too much. Other than that, I like the light airy quality to it. I just wish it leaned a little bit more feminine, but I like where this was going, or a little bit softer, and they took out some of the alcohol note, and then I think it would be a little bit better, but it's okay. This is still a good scent. I'd still recommend it to a lot of people, especially if you like those unisex scents, which I think this is a unisex scent. But yeah, it's just not my favorite anymore, so I'm just going to sell it on Facebook Marketplace because I'm just not as obsessed with it as I thought I was going to be. So yeah, that was my long rant for this one, just because this one I thought was going to be my favorite, and it was actually ended up being my least favorite. So the next one is the Mixbar Wood Elixir. This is probably my next least favorite, and I will be decluttering this one. So actually, when I smelled it today, I didn't think it was bad. This is still a decent scent. It kind of gives me Into the Night vibes. It doesn't smell like Into the Night. It's not like a dark, sexy scent, but it has the same vibes because the patchouli is very similar. This one is kind of that cough medicine patchouli. And I do think it's really nice and well-rounded. I also came to like patchouli scents more. as of recently, so smelling it now, I definitely like it more than I used to. But I'm still gonna get rid of it because honestly, when you first put it on, it's really nice, but as it settles, I get the patchouli even more so. And to me, it just leans a little too cough syrupy for me. So it's not bad. It's a really good scent. And if you like patchouli scents that lean a little bit on the cough medicine side, I think you'd really like this. Or even like a alcoholic drink kind of scent. Because those kind of also have, some of them have like a slight patchouli kind of vibe. What was I gonna say? A slight cough medicine-y kind of like smell to them, but they're still nice, and that's kind of what this one has. But this one's just a little too strong on that for me, so that's why I'm gonna be decluttering that one on Facebook Marketplace. Okay, so the next fragrance that I have is Vanilla Bourbon. So this one I heard probably the best reviews for. People raved about the scent. And when I got it, I thought it was nice and I really liked it. But the one I liked even more was the Pacifica, what was it? Vanilla Island one. That one was amazing. And to me, I don't know why I expected this to smell the same, but it doesn't. But this one is a really nice vanilla. It's kind of more on the boozy side. I would describe it kind of like, so it says bourbon, so I'm assuming it kind of smells like bourbon. I kind of forgot what bourbon smells like. Or I could compare it to like a cream alcohol, like a vanilla cream alcohol. Kind of like Bailey's, or kind of like those like drink alcohols that are, you know, kind of like creamy. That's kind of what it reminds me of. It's really good scent, and it has like a woody element to it, which really makes it rounded out, more grown up. So I think this is really nice. Now when I first tried this, I kind of smelled like this like orange scent to me. It kind of smelled like a little bit like vanilla with a slight hint of like orange blossom in it, but it's really apple blossom, but to me it kind of smelled like orange blossom. So yeah, it has like an apple blossom note, which kind of leans on the sweet whiskey side, or the Victoria's Secret has a collection similar to this. And that is what it really reminds me of. It was the Untamed collection. They all kind of smell like this a little bit. So yeah, I think this one is really nice. Okay, the next one I want to talk to you guys about, this is the Sparkling Hibiscus fragrance. This one actually was so shocking to me. I really loved the way this smelled. I love fruity scents, but this one is no exception. It's a beautiful fruity scent. I felt like it didn't get that much hype because people were so obsessed with the Vanilla Bourbon scent and the whipped almond, but this one was so good too. I think a lot of people just like gourmand scents more than, you know, I think. But this one I really, really like. It is a fruity scent, but to me, it has like more of a sophisticated element than like Pure Seduction from Victoria's Secret. It's a little bit more elevated, a little bit more grown-up smelling. It's just so good, and I love the hibiscus note because it's not fruity in your face, but it is such a pretty fruity scent. So I love this one. So had to say good things about that. I just wish it was a little bit stronger, but other than that, it's really good. The next one is the Coconut Palm. This was one, by the way, Vanilla Bourbon, I heard good things from different people like Michaela, and then Natalie Grace, and other people for sure. I'm sure Jasmine too. But I want to say the Coconut Palm, I heard really good things from Natalie Grace, and this one smells absolutely amazing. This one ended up actually being one of my favorites. This one to me smells even more like the Victoria's Secret Untamed collection. I actually think, although everyone says vanilla bourbon smells like the Victoria's Secret Untamed collection, this one reminded me of it even more because it adds more woody elements. I actually felt like this one is more vanilla heavy and this one is more woody, kind of like the Untamed collection. So I would actually say like the Bare Vanilla Untamed was more similar to Coconut Palm than it was to vanilla bourbon. And that's just my opinion, but I would say because of the notes, you would think vanilla bourbon, but it's even closer to Coconut Palm in my opinion. Maybe kind of mixed between Coconut Palm and vanilla bourbon. But yeah, I just have to say that this one is so good. It has a coconut element to it, but it's like a sexy coconut. Kind of reminds me too of the Bombshell Intense or Bombshell Gold from Victoria's Secret because it has that like kind of sexy, warm kind of scent to it. Really nice. So this one is just so good. And Natalie Grace was so right about this. And it almost kind of smells vanilla-y to me too, because I don't know, it doesn't smell super, like you definitely get coconut, but to me it smells like a vanilla coconut because it's pretty woody, but it has like a sweetness to it. So this one is so good. I really, really love this one. Okay, then my next one I want to talk to you guys about is the Whipped Almond scent. So when I first tried this out through the tester at Target, I was not that impressed by it. I thought it was a little boring and a little bit bland. Because honestly, it just had like, it wasn't like a super heavy gourmand where you really smell like vanilla and it really smells super sweet. So I wasn't like that obsessed with it. But here's the thing with almond scents. At first, they're kind of boring to me, but as they sit in your collection, they smell sweeter and more gourmand. So for me, that was this one. What was the one? Oh, Velvet Petals. At first, I thought that one smelled boring. I didn't get much scent from it. And then one day, I just wore it out of nowhere and I was absolutely obsessed. I was like, oh my gosh, I smell the gourmandness. I smell that almond kicking in. And it was just so sweet and so delicious. So I had to try this one and I am so obsessed with it now. It is a lighter gourmand to the point where, you know, it's not going to be a super heavy gourmand, but it has that beautiful nuttiness to it that makes it so, like more understated sweet, but so good. And it just kind of lingers throughout the day and it gets sweeter on your body the more you wear it. So, or I should say the longer you wear it. So the longer I wore this one, the more I loved it. So I do have to say this one was another one of my favorites and I am obsessed. Okay, and then the last one I want to talk to you guys about is Blackberry Tonic. So this one smelled so good to me, and this one was one of the ones I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did, but it ended up probably being my favorite. This one, it is a sweet, fruity scent. It's not super strong. Like, I do wish it was a little bit stronger. It had more of a punch to it. But this one reminds me of Versace Bright Crystal, one of my absolute favorite fragrances. It has that same type of vibe to it. And actually, now I'm smelling it, I do get the Versace Bright Crystal. It's a little bit softer than that. It's not as floral heavy. But it also smells like it's mixed with Haribo blackberry candies. You know what I'm talking about, those like blackberry candies by Haribo? That's what this one reminds me of. So it smells like Versace Bright Crystal, but toned down, mixed with Haribo candies, and it is so good. Definitely a beautiful scent, and this one ended up being my favorite. So I already kind of have it ranked, but I just want to go from my least favorite to my favorite. most favorite. So on the bottom is Cloud Musk. This is the 7th place. This one I thought was gonna be my favorite, but it ended up being my least favorite. So that's 7th place, and I'll be getting rid of that one. Then 6th place is Wood Elixir. Another one I really had high hopes for. It does have great projection and longevity. Probably one of the best out of the collection, but it just fell flat for me. And then 5th place is Vanilla Bourbon. Now, I do think this might change because I've really grown to love vanilla. Or I shouldn't say vanilla, but I've really grown to love gourmands in general. I've always liked vanilla. But this one was not my favorite vanilla at first, but now that I'm re-smelling it, I really like it. So this might change, but for right now, it's the 5th place. 4th place is Sparkling Hibiscus. This one is just so pretty. It's like that nice fruity scent. It's a little generic, but it's still so good. And I don't care if a scent's generic or not. If it smells good, it smells good. And this one smells good. And it's not too fruity like Pure Seduction. So I love this one. Okay, in 3rd place, I have Coconut Palm. I was just so in love with this one, even more than Vanilla Bourbon, at least for right now. That might change later. But this one gives me Untamed vibes. It gives me sweet whiskey vibes. Or I should say Victoria's Secret Untamed vibes. Same with Vanilla Bourbon, but this one even more so because it has more of those woody notes that the Untamed collection has. In 2nd place, I have Whipped Almond. This one was just so delicious, so good. And I've really been more into gourmand scents. This one keeps it a light, airy gourmand, so really obsessed with this one. And then in 1st place, I have Blackberry Tonic. And for me, this is 1st place because it reminds me of Versace Bright Crystal, but it's a little different because of that blackberry note in it, which kind of gives me the Haribo blackberry gummy candy. So good. This one is just so good, and the fact that it reminds me of Versace Bright Crystal, which is one of my favorite fragrances that I have in my collection, so had to rate this number 1. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and hope you guys have a great day.